was appointed by the mayor in 1998 to be the project design director to create what is Millennium Park. It is the largest roof deck in Chicago. It's 24.5 acres. And the mayor was really concerned about the way the site looked before Millennium Park. It was 2 active railroad lines and surface parking for about 900 cars. So it was an impediment for people getting from the central business district of Chicago into the rest of Grant Park. So the idea was to cover the railroads, to build 2 underground garages with 4,000 spaces, and on top of all that, put this brand new park with state-of-the-art designs by some of the great landscape architects and artists in the world. And we have people like Frank Gehry, who did the pavilion, the Pritzker Pavilion behind me. He did the BP Bridge, which is right next to it. 2 wonderful architectural masterpieces. Anish Kapoor did this marvelous piece of sculpture called Cloud Gate, and though everyone in Chicago calls it the Bean, it's a 120-ton elliptical piece of stainless steel sculpture that is now identifying Chicago to the world. The third major piece of art was the Crown Fountain, designed by Jaume Plensa, who's an artist from Barcelona, Spain. And he conceived of these 2 50-foot high towers facing off against each other in the center of a reflecting pool of water, with only a skin of 1/4 of an inch so that people could walk in the water, pretend they're walking on water. There are 1,000 faces of Chicagoans behind glass brick, which makes up the tower, and they change every 6 minutes. And every 6 minutes, there's also what's called the gargoyle effect. So the faces spit water into the pool for about 20 seconds, and a new face comes on. And the faces on the fountain represent Chicago's demographics in terms of gender, ethnicity, and age. So there's always a variety of interesting faces, and they're randomly selected by computer. And that is one of the most popular locations we have in the park during the summer, because it could be filled with thousands of people every day, kids running back and forth, having a good time, really appreciating great art. Now, as a result of Millennium Park, it's been open for over 6 years now. The Art Institute decided to relocate the new addition directly across the street to the south of the park. And as part of that, they constructed a new bridge by Renzo Piano, who also did the addition, which connects Millennium Park to the 3rd floor of the new addition to the Art Institute, which is an outdoor sculpture terrace. We also have a wonderful perennial garden, sustainable, low maintenance, designed by Catherine Gustafson of Seattle, and the plantsman, the horticulturist who designed the plant palette of perennial plants is Piet Oudolf from Hummelo, the Netherlands. And it's an example of what an urban garden could be, and still sort of have this ecological condition in terms of what it's teaching people. There's over 120 varieties of perennial plants, and another 30 varieties of naturalized bulbs come in the spring. So all year round, this garden has particular interest, and things are coming and going. Plants are blooming and not blooming, so you can come back every 2 weeks and it'll look different. Those are the major features of the park. We did an economic impact study to find out what the impact was on Chicago's economy. That was done in 2005, and it has a tremendous impact. In terms of residential property values directly around the park, it's about $1.4 billion over a 10-year period. And that's true because there are about 12 condo projects that happen as a result of being close to Millennium Park. And in tourism dollars, it generates about $2.6 billion over that same 10-year period. We have over 4,000 visitors, but the best thing about Millennium Park is pretty much everything that occurs here is free to the public. There's no other municipality in the world that has as many free offerings as Millennium Park does. And that's all programmed by the Department of Cultural Affairs and its commissioner, Lois Weisberg. So we owe debt of gratitude to the mayor, first of all, Mayor Daley, and the donor community, which raised over $220 million in private funds to really underwrite all the wonderful things we see in Millennium Park. We wanted the park to be very accessible and interactive, so all the pieces of art, for instance, have a component that allows people to touch them, to experience them. Cloudgate is touched by thousands of people every day, and in fact we have to clean all those fingerprints off once a day. And then certainly the free programming. There's multiple things for people to do, including young children, toddlers. There's a family fun tent that's underwritten by various donors. And then we have over 100 major concerts that occur in the Pritzker Pavilion. And the Pritzker Pavilion has the best outdoor sound system in the world. It's because we have this trellis, which is the structure which supports all the speakers, and the sound system also has a component that allows us to create the effect of reverberation. So the sound is terrific, the programming is great. There are things that can happen here all year. So even during the winter we have events. There's a free ice skating rink right on Michigan Avenue. And so it helps connect the city to the rest of Grant Park, but also in the sense it's an intermodal facility because underneath the park there's a major railroad station. There's a bike station which allows people to bike to the park and put their bikes in a secure location, and most of them go then to work. They bike here during the morning and go to work, and then leave their bike there, take a shower, and so it's very flexible in that respect. So we connected the pedway system to the rest of the transportation in Chicago, so you can go underground to any of the public transportation in Chicago. So it's really connected, and plus the 4,000 parking spaces. So I think it's probably connected more than any other park in the world right now. I think they're surprised by the art and that we allow people to touch it, to interact with it, and they're surprised by the quality of the art and how magical it is. So if you look at Cloudgate, you'll no matter what time of the year it is, people are there. 6 years after the piece opened, I don't know of any other piece of public art in the entire world that generates as much interest as Cloudgate does. And the same is true for the Crown Fountain. Although it doesn't have water during the winter, the faces of the Chicagoans are still projected on the screens. They're also surprised that everything is free. And as I said, that doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. So you can hear great concerts, whether it's jazz or country or world music or symphonic music or dance or opera. It's all here in the park, and it doesn't cost you anything. I think if you're coming to Chicago and you want to see considered one of the great new urban parks in the world, we've won over 40 awards for Millennium Park, and it's free. So if you can get here in the summer when most of the concerts are happening, that'd be the best time to come. Anywhere between I think June and September would be good to experience the concerts. But no matter when you come, Millennium Park has a lot to offer.